checking out the signals for the Baltimore Colts. Unitas gives to Amici. The Colts are the world champions. Amici scores.
It's amazing, sensational, dramatic, heart-rending, exciting, thrilling finish in the history of college football. California has won the big game.
5 seconds left in the game. You believe in miracles? Yes! Unbelievable.
This is Phil Steele.
This is Mike Burnham.
This is Wes Durham.
This is Mike Ashley.
Hi, this is Chuck Foreman, number 44 of the Minnesota Vikings.
Woo, mercy, this is handsome Jimmy Vane, the Boogie Woogie Man.
This is Coach Fry with Virginia Tech Football, and you are listening to Big Dog Sports Talk.
Are you ready to rock? Are you ready to roll? Okay, let's do it.
Rick Watson's got the mic, he's the big dog king. Cover sports so sharp, it's a new river thing. Virginia Tech fire, rapid pride too. Every stat, every play, he's bringing it to you. He's got that voice, deep as the valley, breaking it down, no dilly, no dally. Big dog sports talk, feel the bark. He's got the scoop, faster than a sprint. Calling plays like a coach, every word's a hint. From the courts to the fields, the stories unfold. Rick's play-by-play, worth its weight in gold. With a laugh and a growl, he'll pull you in. Big Dog's podcast, let the games begin. Big Dog Sports Talk, feel the bark.
Morning. Good to be here. Happy Hump-Day. See? That's Henry the Camel. So when you have Henry the Camel, what does that mean? It means it's Hump-Day. Get situated here. All right. I heard the music stopping, and I wasn't anywhere near the microphone, so I had to hustle over here. I'm not necessarily the most in-tuned hustling that I used to be. What's up, Steven? How are you? Oh, Steve, sorry. I know. Steven's mad. I completely looked over asking Phil Steele yesterday about Georgia Tech, and he let me hear it, man. He let me hear it. Sorry, man. Sorry. We made national. Phil kind of reposted some of our stuff yesterday, so it was kind of cool. We got around yesterday. What's up, Husqvarna? Please subscribe. What's up, Rubber Duck? What the hell, indeed, Rubber Duck? I don't know. I have no idea. What's up, Denny? Not our Denny, but another Denny. And keep hitting my toe on the table, and I have to smack the table just for revenge. Yeah, because I do the same thing. It's the table's fault. It's when you stub your toe or something like that. It's the innate. It's just the object, inordinate object that's sitting there. It's that fault. It's not our fault. I'm with you. 100%. 100%. Today we got Keon Brown coming up. We'll see if now he's going to go out and start buying Sixers gear. David Teal and Mike Burnap. We had, by the way, Damien Sortolette. He's had a lot of health issues. He apparently passed his kidney stone. That's where he was last week. He doesn't mind me telling you. And then this week he's got some kind of massively abscessed tooth. And he just had surgery yesterday. So he will be back next week, as he said, barring any more unforeseen health issues. And isn't that the truth, by the way? We show up every day barring any unforeseen health issues. 100% Crunch Man. 100%. Could not agree more. Everyone, please subscribe. We're a friendly community. We are. We don't want bots, and nobody's going to make any comments that are insensitive towards the way somebody looks toward them personally. That's all. But I was thinking about that some yesterday. Oh, thanks, Denny. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. And I feel your pain. Monday, I destroyed my toe at work, so I know exactly what you're talking about. I know exactly what you're talking about. Boom. What's up? I'm going to mispronounce it. This and Dugamaw? Thank you. No, thank you for stopping by. Don't thank me, thank you. What's up, Tank? Had a good friend in high school, Tank Saunders. So, Tank's cool. Tank's a good name. Good, no bots. Excellent. Everybody, please subscribe. Not really. Okay, so I don't have the hair I used to, Cute Moth, but it's that lighting, too. See? See, there's hair. I do keep it tight. I used to fight a little bit, so I kept it tight, and I liked the way it felt and looked, so I've done it. What's up, Cutie Bear? Hi, Mom. So, a lot of our ACC conversation yesterday went kind of viral, which was kind of cool. So, thanks to Phil Steele, who was very grateful. And he's right. We started, it was around 2003 or 4, right when he got really going with the mag. And he was very appreciative of that yesterday. Great comments. Thank you for everybody on the Professional Door Incorporated text line yesterday. I got a lot of comments about the Phil Steele appearance. So thank you for that. I know a lot of people went back and rewatched. Don't forget, we're presented each and every day by Pulaski County Sports and Entertainment. They got their big jet skiing event this weekend, and they are stoked. And you should be too. AJSA coming up. It starts on Friday through August the 2nd at Claytor Lake, the Summer Series ski jet race, or jet ski race. You're going to have it Saturday and Sunday. Saturday schedule also includes a vendor village. That's going to be cool. Live music. I will be playing and singing. No, I won't. That's not true. And a freestyle show. Reach out to Brad Adams for media inquiries. Brad Adams, or visit ajsaracing.com. They are doing the Lord's work up there in Pulaski County. Professional Door Incorporated, you've got 3 days, today, tomorrow, and Friday, remaining to get $40 off your preventative maintenance garage door visit just to get it checked on, updated, whatever it might be. 674-0008. Call and talk to Travis, any of his associates, and you can schedule it anytime you want the rest of the year. But you have to make the schedule here in the next 3 days if you haven't already. And you have to tell them you heard us talking about it. Please do that. It's silly not to. Why would you not want to save $40 or something that could save you thousands and thousands of dollars, right? All it is a phone call. They'll be at your house. They'll look at it. They'll do what they need to do. They'll be in and out. Boom. They're the best in the business. 674-0008. But you have to tell them that you heard us talking about it. What's up, Duran? How are you? Yeah, the jet ski race, Clear Lake. You should come down, Denny. It's going to be a bunch of pros out there. Jonathan Sweet's going to be on a jet ski. National Bank member FDIC, the exclusive banking partner of this program, and my exclusive banking partner. I've told you about being with them for 35 years and how they refinanced everything of mine. ReadySetFund.com. BobChrist11 at Gmail, CRIST. Reach out to him directly or just check out the Ready Set Fund for all the ways they can help you raise money, like they did to Floyd County's girls softball team. $4,300. Sundown Electric, the Smith Brothers, one of the best reputable businesses in the area down in Elliston. Reach out to them. Clear communication, great craftsmanship, and you'll want to tell everybody you use them. Just go look at the reviews. It's crazy. You don't see all 5-star reviews anywhere, but you do with them. NRB Super Bowl, 540-382-5525. Leagues are forming right now, men's, women's, and for kids. So get that done and do something fun, man. Hang out at the bowling alley. I know I'm still thinking about that from the Bash a couple of weeks back, week and a half ago. Lawson's Mobile Home Supply, 300 North Franklin Street in Christiansburg. Give James a call, 540-381-8011. Manufactured parts for your home. The BDST Fan Question of the Week brought to you by the attorney Ryan Pry, 701 West Main Street in Radford, Trust and Estate Planning. And our question this week was Brandon's question. Brandon, I got your text. We already utilized it. If you could not root for your favorite college football team, who would be the team you would root for on the secondhand market? McClellan Chiropractic Clinic. Reach out to Mark Hunley over at 155 Walters Drive. His video got over 650 rewatches. He was showing you all the diagnostics. Go see him. Reach out to Mark. Family Fencing, sponsor of our studio. Give him a call for a free quote, 540-200-8294, familyfencingnrv.com. And as always, please subscribe, like, and share the program. Thanks to Brandon at Top Shelf Apparel for our t-shirts. Thanks to Chamber of Commerce, all those wonderful folks. What's up, Manny? My day always gets better when I hang out with the peeps here. Dwight as well shared our interview with Bud Foster last week, especially when he was on there with Bud. That was great. Thank you so much for that. Thanks, Danny. You have a great day. Thanks for stopping by. Stay subbed and come by anytime. Manny, hope you're subscribed. Have a great day. Good to see you. By the way, we have 14. We have subscriptions from 14 different nations, which is cool. Yeah, that's really cool. Really, really cool. Well, good for you, you. Glad to see you're out, man. Did your time. I hope things go better for you. I'm glad you found us so soon getting out. Sorry you had to go through that. Danny, we are mostly sports. We talk entertainment, pop culture, you name it. Matter of fact, we have a sub show on Thursday nights called Big Dog Pop. So we talk about all sorts of stuff. And what I try to do is make sure everybody knows that their opinion matters. What's up, Ken? Yeah, the UNC stuff's gotten pretty bad. Pretty bad indeed. So this whole thing with Michael Lombardi, I guess there's some things starting to leak about it. And it looks like it has a lot to do with NIL. I don't know why. I keep seeing this stuff about how inappropriate things, and it's apparently why Dusty May, left Michigan as well. But I'm thinking, what rules are there? Like, what? He did something inappropriate with NIL, or they did something appropriate with tampering. What rules are there in place? What has been agreed upon and signed off on that they're it's pretty much the wild, wild west, right? It's anything goes. Anything goes. And JJ, this is not live. Yeah, it's 6:17 a.m. in the Eastern time. Here on July the 29th. Yeah, we're live. Sorry. So I don't know. We'll see what happens with Lombardi. It's almost like Carolina fan has been wanting Belichick to leave. So they have now got a reason to root for that, which I think is interesting. So ESPN released its strength of schedule, which is pretty funny to me, since they are so in bed with the SEC. Imagine that every team listed in the strength of schedule is from the SEC. Arkansas, Oklahoma, Texas, Kentucky, Ole Miss, Mississippi State, Florida, Ohio State, Texas A&M, South Carolina. Everybody in the top 10 other than Ohio State in the SEC. Then you have LSU, Missouri, Auburn, Tennessee, Alabama, the next 5, Vanderbilt, and Georgia. So 16 is this. You got Michigan in there, USC, Northwestern's in there. 16 of the 20 by ESPN listed as having the toughest schedule because, why not? Wow. Don't even try to hide their blatant bias, kind of like Access Media politically. Pretty funny. Pretty funny. How about that, Low Country? It's kind of like the pomposity of Hollywood. Most people understand, they see what things are for what they are. Does ESPN still just go about their business thinking people are stupid? I guess they do, that they don't understand the conflict of interest and they don't understand the things they're trying to promote and how nothing they say has any merit because of the immense investment that they have in the things they talk about financially. Hey, what's up? Our best to New Zealand. Thank you. You know what I'm saying? Like, they present all this stuff, and I guess they're just going, they specifically understand now, especially after, in lieu of all the recent firings, they're specifically going for not my demographic. So I understand that. I get that. I'm going to ask Keon, though, if he feels like that's even for his demographic going forward. But they release all this stuff. Do they still think people are like going, yeah, besides the stupid talking heads on there like Thamel and Schefter and all those guys who act like, does anybody still like look at anything that they release and go, wow, ESPN's behind it. It's got some merit to it. Whoa. Self-awareness. Look, I know they've got Disney money and billions behind them, but that was a big L last week with all the firings they had. Not a lot of explanation. Well, you're very talented, Chris and Graham. I hope you have some of the Clorox wipes handy. But good stuff yesterday from Phil Steele. He broke down the ACC, told you that he was pretty high on Virginia Tech. All the things that you wanted to hear about the ACC. Virginia, he liked a lot better than a lot of people. Glue anchovies to my feet. Hey, David Lee, what's up? I look like a cop? I'll take that as a compliment. Everybody, please subscribe. Well, one thing Phil said that the jury's still out for me is the hiring of Brent Pry. He thought that was a big plus for James Franklin. We'll see. We'll see. What's up, Big Lou? How are you? We'll see. We'll see if that ends up being the case. We shall see. But Miami, by the way, it's out. And I want to get into this. I want to get your thoughts. They released the official poll yesterday. And we'll see how this turns out. Miami, SMU, Louisville, Clemson, your top four. And this is why Steven's mad at me, because Georgia Tech showed up fifth. Low Country says they've yet to acknowledge NIL has made this a much more level playing field and that good ball is played in other conferences. Mind you, they're 2-7 again. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they forget those little nuggets, don't they, Low Country? I did not igloo, but there's no group of human beings that I have more respect for than our servicemen and women. Virginia is 6th, NC State 7th, and there's Virginia Tech popping in an 8th, which I think is pretty impressive just when you look at 3 and 9, and there's a lot of unknowns there. They look at James Franklin as being a known, and they look at probably Ethan Grunkenmeyer. Now, you take all these polls with a grain of salt. That's because Florida State had 3 first-place votes, and they showed up 11th. And we're going to talk to David Teal about this. Stanford dead last, but yet someone voted them first. Miami had 165 first-place votes. SMU 6, Louisville with 4, Clemson with 7, and then Georgia Tech with 2. How about that, Stephen? Stephen, were you one of the ones that voted for Georgia Tech? So Miami picked as the fave, and nobody's really surprised by that. We've been talking about it. We knew that was going to be the case. Not a unanimous favorite. Things coming out, the SEC and the Big Ten looking at this new. We're going to talk to David Teal about all this stuff. All the things that the bill and so forth with the House. We're going to see if that gets passed now. It's interesting. So we'll see. They're talking about the playoff more yesterday. I think what you have to think about is this. If you see the SEC and the Big Ten talking about it, it's probably going to happen, right? Thank you, Mid-South. You like that? That was a present from one of our listeners. I got a Godzilla thing I'm going to put up for next week right above that. Yeah. It's actually apparently it's a brewery. It's going to be really cool. So that's going to go up here. And my animal, my kitty is named Balboa Creed. Think Rocky was an influence on me growing up? Nah. So ESPN has picked Arkansas as having the toughest schedule in the country. You want to hear Arkansas' schedule? North Alabama, Utah, Georgia, Tulsa, A&M, Tennessee, Vandy, Missouri, Auburn, South Carolina, Texas, and LSU. Sure, the conference games are tough. But when they already put all the SEC teams in the top 25, then of course, what's it going to look like in their own, algorithm? I look like Kane. Thanks, Buck. Oh, Mid-South, there you go. You excited about all the newness in Arkansas football? Wild stuff, man. How do you accept an invite to collaborate on a reel? Oh, yeah, I'm going to share it. I'm not sure how to do that. There you go. I reposted it. There. Dwight wanted me to repost our segment last week with Bud Foster, so that's what I just did. Morris, where's our open? We don't have our Morris open yet. That's all right. Wrestling music, we cover all that stuff. Yeah. Mid-South, we do a show on Thursday night called Big Dog Pop, and we cover all sorts of stuff. Big wrestling fan myself. The A&E biographies are some of the best TV out there that's going today. NFL's way better in college. I think the quality of play was better in college last year than the NFL has been recently. NFL's got a lot of issues it's got to sort out. Officiating, playing surface, Roger Goodell. Fix all those things, and maybe the league will bounce back. But, hey, they just set an all-time record. They raised, did you see the money? Was it $17.4 billion? $14.7 billion? Something. It's more than the rest of the leagues put together. Unbelievable. Thanks, Mid-South. Appreciate you, man. Stop by anytime. Yeah, we get into some pretty good wrestling discussions here on the program. I'm a Ric Flair guy. I think Shawn Michaels, pound for pound, is the most talented wrestler to ever step in the ring. Eddie Guerrero. We're some good people, man. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you. Wayne, that's good. It's not necessarily Morris, but we'll take it. Hickory Dickory Doc Rick is now on the clock and live from Ryder. Time for Rick's one-liner. Morris is inspiring I talked to Morris yesterday. Country's games played in is another. Yeah, that's true. It's not bad, Wayne. It's not bad at all. Oh, here we go. He made me wait half an hour. From the tailgate heaven at Lane Stadium, let's have a BDST bash for the Friday night pit game. Hey, wow, look at you. And libations that will tune up the cranium. BDST is where it's at. Hey, I could do that. It's a Friday night, right? We should have like a little tailgate bash for the pit game. Who's in? Yeah, we could do that. We could put feelers out there about that. Sure. That's Friday night. I don't know what my broadcast schedule looks like, but I'll check it. Yeah, you could get people over there. Big Al will already be over there. Hokey Bob. You get Wayne at that game. We get a lot of tech people at that game. A lot of the peeps here in chat would show up for that. Maybe we'll get Keon Brown to come out. What's up, KB? How are you? Good morning.
What's going on, buddy?
How are you, man?
I'm great. Yesterday, I got sick out of nowhere, though. Like, what? If this would have been yesterday, it was no way I would have been on.
Oh, I'm sorry, man. What happened?
So I don't know if anybody knows, but I'm blind. Like, literally. I'm literally blind. So I have these special contacts, and they're called sclero. They make the eye shape round, basically, and they're made out of solid glass. So I just got a new set last week. So when you put them in there, you can see everything. Like, it looks so clear.
Really?
I'll give you an example. As soon as you put them in, it was not me. You just start crying because your body is not used to seeing that well. It's a real thing. So I got my new contacts last week. I have to go to the eye specialist all the way in DC. That's where you get them from. And so it's been a week since I've had them in. So I'm assuming I just woke up yesterday without them in. You can't sleep in them and you can't see anything. So my body wasn't used to reverting back to not being able to see. So when I woke up, I just got motion sickness. And dude, I got into a sweat. I was sweating like I was playing basketball and I just couldn't like breathe. I had to get my wife. I was like, dude, you got to get the baby today. I can't do anything. So I was in the bed literally all day yesterday. And I woke up today feeling a little better. But that's the only thing I can think of that maybe has had an effect as to why I got so sick out of nowhere. It's crazy.
Well, explain to me again. So what are these are
called keratoconus. So keratoconus is when your eye shape isn't round. So if you were to take my eyeball out, the back of it is the shape of a football. So when you put the scleral, I think it's SCLAREL, scleral contacts in, it makes your eye as round as possible. And they're really big. Like they're really big contacts. If I were to put my eyes up to the screen, you'd be able to see them. They're made out of metal.
Oh, okay.
So you get a new set every year. And I got my new set last week. So my eyes weren't used to the fresh set yet. And it looks so clear that you just have to get used to life again, pretty much. And it takes a couple of weeks. And yes,
you have to take them out every night?
You have to. You can't sleep in them at all. They're basically glass. So you could cut your eyes up, all this stuff. Yeah.
I don't know if I want glass in my eyes.
Hey, you will if you can't see like I can't see. Trust me. Yeah, I can't wear glasses. Glasses aren't strong enough. This is the only option for me. But it's worked. Just yesterday, I was just, whoa, it was a bad day yesterday.
Yeah, you would totally rock glasses. Then you'd be like Professor Keon, and then when you take them off, you turn.
I want glasses. I was diagnosed with this in 2019, 2018, something like that. And I asked last week, I was like, is there any updates on glasses? Like, this has been a while now. Anything? They're like, nope, nothing's changed.
Wayne asked, sorry to hear that, Keon. Are you sure it's not because LeBron's a bit closer to you now that he's in Philly?
Oh, gosh, I wish it was. There we go. I love that. Wayne knows my heart. Wayne knows my heart.
How close are you now? That's true. You're kind of
far at all. It's not that far. I think it's like 4 hours, 4.5 hours.
Oh, well, you got that.
Oh, I absolutely got it. Yeah, absolutely, I do.
Well, what did you think? You didn't have as much fanfare as I think he hoped, but he landed in Philly. You mentioned Philly. You thought Philly was a possibility. But did they emerge as a favorite for you, or was that kind of like?
They did not. I thought it was Miami.
I did too. I did too.
Now, him going to Philly makes the most basketball sense. I'll say that. Now, when they got Jaylen Brown, they had the 5th best odds to win the East next year. The 5th. As soon as he signs, they have the best odds tied with the Knicks. Now everyone's calling them a super team. It's funny how that works out. You get the oldest player in NBA history, and now you're a super team.
I don't
just say anything.
They will.
That's where we are now.
That's it. That's 100%. 100%.
But if you, I think they are a backup center away from the NBA championship. You can't trust Joel Embiid's health. You just can't.
No, or his attitude. Yeah.
You can't. So Nick Richards is a free agent. That's a guy I think we need to keep an eye out on joining Philly. You can have an average center with that roster, and all you have to do is play your role of protect the rim, rebound, offensive rebound, defensive rebound, finish at the rim, and that's all you need to do when you're playing with those guys. That's it. LeBron's going to play point guard. I think you're going to like this team because it's going to be close to the brand of basketball that you like, Rick Watson. That old school basketball. I think so.
I hope
with this team.
I hope so. I mean, that's what I want to see. I want to see big men be part of the game again.
Yeah. With this team, I think you're going to get that.
Yeah. Because that's Mike Ashley talks about that. That's the inside out game. That whole thing to me, that's basketball. I don't like this running down the floor 90 miles an hour and just taking a 25-foot three, backpedaling already because you're not going to make it, or sometimes you pout when you don't get back on defense.
This team is going to slow it down a bit, and obviously they'll be able to get out in the secondary breaking transition. But I think you're going to see a lot of unique half-court sets, especially with a guy like LeBron playing point guard. He's going to be that Jason Kidd type of guy from that 2011 Dallas Mavericks team. where you can go and get out in the fast break, but you can also slow it down and set up the offense. It's going to be really fun to watch.
Well, it's going to be interesting. If Philly, maybe that was the final piece. We'll find out. Can they bring it all together? Can the coaching staff bring it all together? That's two huge pieces they brought in. They got to get it cohesive now with James and with Brown. So,
and what I also think about is you go on social media, watch all of the networks, whatever. It's like, will they fit? How are they going to fit? Will they mesh together? I'm like, if we have those questions, you don't think they're thinking about that?
Yeah, you would think. Yeah, they had to look at it and see.
Yeah.
So it was probably like when they realized they could get him and were going to get him. It's too big of an opportunity not to for all the different reasons, and then you start to try to figure it out. They got plenty of time, to figure out. So.
And at the same time, I don't know if you saw, but do you see how much money he's going to generate in Philly this year alone?
Oh, I'm sure.
$500 million already.
The marketing, sure.
Marketing, the fanfare coming into the city is about to get crazy.
You know what they should do? It used to be effective. They did it with Jordan. They've done it with whomever, but they should have I don't know if there's a building as you drive into Philly. They should have a big painting mural of him.
Yeah.
Right? That would be something that those things were very effective, man. That would work. That would be cool. That'd be cool.
Yeah. At least have it of the team, right? Coming in.
Yeah, you could.
Make them the centerpiece or something, but yeah, you're right.
Something like that. And somebody will think of that. Somebody will mark it. It's like a big old billboard or something,
And then I saw that when I saw that he's going to generate $500 million just this year. I was like, if you think he's only making $4 million this year, you're crazy.
they got some kind of deal worked out to where he's going to get.
You see this Kawhi Leonard stuff going on right now?
Yeah.
Same thing. Kawhi was supposed to make $50 million. He was making way more under the table. All of the owners are doing it. That's why none of the owners are talking about it.
Wayne said you'd be scaling that building constantly, though, so that could be dangerous.
That'd be me.
But I don't know. Call me naive, but LeBron's already a billionaire. I'm not sure he made this move because of money. I think this is how much more money do you need?
He's worth $1 billion. He's not. He doesn't $1 billion.
But his whole empire, I guess you could say.
Yeah. He doesn't need it for sure. You said it. He doesn't need it. He prints money.
So I don't think he's.
Yeah, I don't think that's and as soon as he signed, as soon as the jerseys came out, it sold out in 2 minutes. Literally, it sold out in 123 seconds. So the money that he's going to get from his jersey, he's probably already made the money he's going to make in Philly already. Every single jersey sold out.
Yeah.
Everyone.
Yeah.
And since the players get a share of that, his share is going to be more than this contract. It's crazy.
Yeah. Just imagine, and you think about it, you go back to, you got to adjust for inflation, and this is why Jordan is always going to have. If you think about what he did, bringing the world into the NBA with the '92 Dream Team, right? And he made it a global game, and now the billions of dollars that he created, right? It's the right.
I think. Yeah. What was it? 45 million or something in the '90s? He made 33 million, and nobody was mad at it. Who could be? How could you?
No.
How could you be mad at that?
I used to argue with my dad about that, God rest his soul. He never understood why athletes made so much money. And I brought up Jordan and said, Dad, all right, so he signed for what you said, $32 million.
For 1 year.
He's going to make the NBA, I don't know how many billions.
Yes.
If in your job, if I was making Radford University $1 billion, I would expect to be paid accordingly, right? I'm that valuable to
accordingly, because all you got to do is say, I'm not coming to work.
That's right. Yeah, all right then. Yeah. Yeah, you're not going to collect those $1 billion this week. Yeah,
some guys are bigger than the game, and that's why I define superstars differently than a lot of people. A lot of people think superstars are what you see on the court. Jalen Brunson, New York Knicks, he is a superstar on the court. He is not a superstar by my definition as far as you're bigger than the game of basketball.
He's not.
There's not many players like that.
No, there's not.
There's not 10. That in the history of the NBA, there's
no.
You can throw Kobe in there. Yeah, Michael Jordan and LeBron for sure. They're bigger than the game. Steph Curry is bigger than basketball. Shaquille O'Neal is bigger than basketball. Magic Johnson is bigger than basketball. But it's
Bird, all this guys. Yeah.
That's my definition of a superstar because I saw some guys get upset when people were saying Jalen Brunson isn't a superstar. He's a great basketball
player. You're not. It's not a diss on him at all. Right.
He's not. But he is not bigger than the game like those guys we mentioned. But that's no knock because there's not many players.
Exactly.
Hardly any who are.
You're not knocking, and that's we're both in the media, and that's what frustrates me so much about discussion. I get it all the time talking about tech football. When you try to be objective about something, like you're just talking about Jalen Brunson, and you're 100% correct.
Yeah.
People they grab one part of it, and because you don't have the same emotion behind it that they do, the same passion, then all of a sudden you're against it. No, I'm just saying this is the whole. Let's look at the whole enchilada on things. And that you described Jalen Brunson perfectly. He's the NBA Finals MVP. He's riding a high. They're champions. He is one of the best players on the floor. Yes. But are you going to go out and put Jalen Brunson on a mural like we're talking about LeBron?
No, you're not. You will in New York, but
in New York you could. Not out of New York. He's not going to show up in a random commercial sitting around eating cereal, and you're going to go, "Hey, look, that's Jalen Brunson." Yeah. No, it's not going to happen.
No, it's not. Like you said, fine player, not a superstar. On court, yes, superstar. Bigger than basketball, superstar, absolutely not.
Correct. In the NFL, they've not really had anybody bigger than the game. The game humbles them so much. Yeah. Even Patrick Mahomes, right? Patrick Mahomes.
The biggest NBA, like football is king. The sport of football is king, but the best players in football want what the top basketball NBA players want.
Yeah.
Recognition. They're just more marketable than the football players.
Yeah.
Now, there was a time you said at Patrick Mahomes, you couldn't turn on your TV without seeing him.
No, but the game still was bigger than him. Yeah, absolutely. And then baseball doesn't market anybody, even Shohei Ohtani. They don't do anything.
Yeah. He doesn't need the money, but my goodness, you put him and market him. When you talk about that talent and how good of a baseball player he is.
I know. Do you see him anywhere? I ask people that question. Do you see him advertising anything? Does he show up? I mean, I know he's Japan's biggest star. Maybe Sadara might differ, but why doesn't? But then I know the answer. They have the worst commissioner this side of Roger Goodell, but there's nothing about Shohei Ohtani anywhere.
But why? At the same time, it's amazing because I even know who he is. And I don't watch a lick of baseball.
Exactly.
So that says something. If I know who you are as a baseball player, I cannot name 10 baseball players off the top. Current baseball player, I can't. I can give you Aaron Judge.
Aaron Judge.
And Tanya. That's it. Is Bryce Hopper still playing? He was here in
DC. He's still there. He's still there. Yeah.
But there's not many.
Yeah, he's still there.
Yeah, man.
Interesting, though. That's a good point. It's a good point. And you touched on earlier, like this whole thing is what we saw ESPN do last week. It is about this it's an attempt to just influence all the time, not give information, isn't it? Like, this is my emotion behind what I'm saying. You should feel the same way that I do, just like you mentioned about Brunson.
Yeah, and at the same time, it's like you talk about tech football and looking at it on the other side of folks. If they do well, you're just going to come on here and say, I was wrong. They did well. There's nothing wrong with saying I was wrong.
And to think about it, and I'm not even saying they're not going to do well. Right? I'm just trying to consider all the factors going into James Franklin being here and what it could mean. Hell, I've got them. I said they could be ACC contenders this year. I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, it's you know what it's like? It's like people who critique this movie, The Odyssey, which is going to make $1 billion probably after the end of next weekend worldwide. All right, it got a lot of criticism for a lot of the things Nolan did to change it. Emily Wilson, he used a modern day story, and then he changed some things, and he got a lot of criticism for it. But you can critique the movie; it can still be successful. It doesn't mean you're saying it's not going to be successful, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
I don't know.
I heard about. I got to watch that movie. I got to go find the time because my time's winding down.
I know this.
I got to be back in the building on Monday.
Do you have like a doomsday clock? Like, you get like a countdown days, hours, months, hours, or weeks?
In my head, I might as well do. In my head, I definitely do have a running clock. Summer school doesn't help. I tell people that all the time. Summer school ended this month, like the month we're literally in right now. So I didn't have as much time as other teachers. I know they had that extra 5 weeks over me. I had about 3.5, 4 weeks off. So I'm still kind of feeling it in the rhythm a little bit. So that's the only good thing about it. But those other teachers who refuse to do summer school, the 90% of teachers who refuse to do it, they're definitely
That's good stuff. That's good stuff. So he's got his destination. We'll see what happens there. He's what's a 2-year deal for him, right?
2-year deal, player option for the second. That means he's going to make 2-year, $8 million deal, so he will make $4 million a year.
You think he'll play both? You think he'll play both?
I think so. I think he wants to be hit that quarter century. I think he wants to be the Rick Watson of the NBA.
he makes a little more money than me. Just a little.
Yeah. It's amazing how narratives follow him, though. Now the new narrative is he's not going to be living in Philly. Now that's the topic right there. Not understanding there's all of the athletes that don't actually live in Philly that play for Philly franchises. Will Chamberlain didn't live in Philly. He lived in New York. He was managing a nightclub while he was in New York.
So where's he going to live? I mean, it's not like it's not
so
like
what they do is they commute from New York to Philly. It's a 45-minute plane ride.
So who cares?
Exactly. That's what they're talking about now. That's the topic now. That's the topic now. Gosh, first he said he was stat padding because, where did some people want him to go? That's the question that I have. If they want him to play for the Utah Jazz, the Charlotte Hornets,
Can you imagine
where do you want him to go? I don't get it.
LeBron's last year or two with the Jazz.
I just don't understand.
That's funny. That is very, very funny.
When is the Radford basketball schedule coming up? I'm gonna keep saying it.
I don't know. The non-conference is done.
God,
and
we have to wait for other teams to put their schedule out to see Radford on it to put 2 and 2 together. And make
I know. I get a lot of people asking me. I tell them about the first week. I know about the first week.
Yes, we're almost in August, man. August is a few days away. Just put it out.
I know we open in Berkeley against California. I know that. And I know we play San Francisco 2 days later. I know that.
Now the new thing is also I don't know if you've been seeing it, but UVA ducking VCU, trying not to return that bye game that they put in every contract from the players. Oh, for the coach.
Really?
Sorry. Yeah, that's the new thing. Coach Odom said we're not playing VCU. We're not doing that return game. Because whenever you're a coach at VCU, they put a clause in your contract that if you get bought out and you are announced as the head coach at a Power 5 program, I guess we call it Power 6 again now because the Pac-12 is back.
Yeah, I guess.
You have to, play a home-and-home series with us, VCU. We'll come to you, you come to us. And they just said, we're not coming. So they're going to buy it out. So they had it with Will Wade at NC State, and they weren't doing the return game to VCU. And now they're doing it with UVA. And Coach Odom said, we're not going there this year. Maybe we'll do it in the future, but this year we're not doing it. And now people are pulling up old clips where he was the coach at VCU. And he said the UVAs, the Virginia Techs, need to play against us. And now it's a situation where I'm not going to fully say he's ducking because there still could be something in the future.
No, he's ducking.
It's not much of a good look right now. I'll say that.
He's ducking. There's no doubt. And I don't like that. It's a bad look. That's a bad look. Just like for James Franklin Tech, you can try to spin it all you want. It's a terrible look that they dropped the JMU game. And he
has a tough non-conference schedule. That's why I'm willing to give him the benefit of the doubt this year, but you should also honor what you had. Right, and don't take the easy way out and buy it out. They have a brutal non-conference schedule. They really do. UVA has a tough one, but so I'll let it slide this year. I'm expecting those two teams to play against each other at least in the 27-28 season, but that's something that's been coming up a lot as well when he made that comment.
Yeah, it bothers me. It bothers me. It's like coaches preach competition, competitive. Don't be afraid to lay it on the line. Yet their actions, things like this, things what Tech did with JMU tells you that they're kind of running away a little bit. They don't want to absorb the tougher competition. So how does that message trickle down? Like, why would it'd be so good for the game of basketball here in the Commonwealth that he supposedly cared so much about, right?
Yeah. And it's a 40-minute trip. You don't have to spend much money on the game. It's going to sell out. 2 Commonwealth schools, both fan bases will travel.
Oh, my goodness gracious, yeah.
Last time I was in the building the last time UVA came to the Siegel Center. Tony Bennett wasn't scared of that. They went to the Siegel Center, beat them, UVA went to JPJ and they beat them. Trevion Graham hit that 3 with 0.3 seconds left, and they ended up winning. That was one of the great games of the Commonwealth in the last, decade or so. And now you need these two teams playing against each other. If you saw ODU's non-conference schedule, they're playing 10 teams in the state of Virginia. 10. With all
we're not one of them.
They're not one of them. You're not. Longwood, I think Longwood obviously is only Radford and Longwood. Longwood's the Big South school that they'll be playing.
Well, in my opinion, there's no excuse for Radford to not have at least 3 in-state non-conference games every year.
There's just too many teams.
I don't understand why we don't. It's been that way for many years. Yeah, why we went away from that, I do not know.
Yeah, Schedule of Liberty. We know how that rivalry used to be.
Why is that not the opener every year?
Yeah.
I know.
You can even go to VMI. Nobody's going to be mad at that. That used to be a Big South rival.
Well, they paid them last year to come to Radford. That should never be a pay game. Yeah. That was always on the table to go back and forth every year because it's a short trip.
Yep.
It's a game of interest. VMI, JMU, Liberty should be the 3 opponents for Radford every year. George Mason. Throw them in there.
Last time Radford's played Mason.
I don't remember, to be honest. It's been a little while. It's been a hot minute. It's been a hot minute. William and Mary, we played them recently, but they should be Richmond. There should be a rotation of these games.
There should be. Last time we played Richmond was in the DC, DC, I think that was 2018, I think. Up here in DC.
And so many schools talk about scheduling problems. Don't you think that would help alleviate that a little bit? Just call your neighbor in the state and say, oh, okay.
Absolutely. Oh, it worked for ODU.
Right. And it's what fans want to see. Radford fans want to see them play teams from the Commonwealth. It's just a natural rivalry.
It's a natural rivalry, and it's accessible to attend.
Correct.
And it'll help your numbers because if you're playing Commonwealth schools, the drive-ins are going to be ridiculous. People are going to travel. You're going to make money.
Right. And everybody talks about travel. Everybody complains about, you're taking a short trip. Heck, some of these trips you could actually make a day trip if you wanted to, if you really wanted to.
Yep. You really could. You could.
I don't know. That bugs me. Good for ODU. Good for them.
Yeah. Sometimes
good for them.
Sometimes we make too much sense. That's all it is.
No, that's going to say. And that's why if they're not going to do that, if the schools can't be trusted to do that and work with each other, that's why we need to have this tournament we always talk about, the in-state mid-major tournament. Leave Tech and UVA out of it because they wouldn't play in it anyway. But let's go get everybody else in the Commonwealth and let's just go. Let's go. Let's play.
And if you make it big enough, they might play.
I think it would be huge. I think they could make it. I don't know where you'd have it. You could have it in Norfolk. You could have it in Richmond. I don't know where you would have it, but should be some all this generation of revenue that people are trying to create. I think that would be a large generation of revenue. I think you get corporate sponsorships all over it.
Yep.
I think a lot of the games would be heavily attended. It
definitely
TV deal. You could get a TV deal regionally.
Yep. Yeah. That's a great idea, man. Especially you do it around Thanksgiving time. You have MTV bracketed style.
Yes, there you go. So these teams
win the Commonwealth Cup. That's what you fight for. If it's Thanksgiving time, you'll make it back home right.
Yeah, come up with some kind of something like that for the mid-May, like Tech and UVA have. Call it whatever, but and that way you're not traveling around the holidays. All these teams, traditionally, how many places has Radford had to go across the country around Thanksgiving, right?
Yeah, one time we were in Corpus Christi, Texas.
Yes, we were. We were right on the beach. We were right on the coastline.
It was beautiful.
It was beautiful.
And it was great weather,
and we won that damn thing.
We won. We did. Talking about eating Thanksgiving from a hotel that just didn't fit right with me.
I know it was, but you know what? Jones did a great job. It felt like family, even though.
Oh yeah, he did. He did a great job.
We were, I remember that. Meal. That was great. That was actually fun. That was a fun, rememberable meal. Food was great too.
Yeah, that's when we was like, we went to the beach, and they were like, as long as you pass your inspection and you got your registration, you can do what you want with your car. So there were cars with no doors on it, no seats on it, just riding in the beach.
That's right. That's
something I'd never seen before.
That was down at Corpus Christi.
Yep.
Yeah, Texas A&M Corpus Christi. They're the Islanders, and we're the Highlanders. Remember, they had the big Islander logo.
Yes, and under that basketball
Ice.
court. It was the ice, and
Everybody was sliding. Yeah, it was cold.
It was so freezing.
I
And we
was
had this
freezing.
routine where you had to stretch on the floor, and I always had this routine with Chad. He would put me on my back and stretch. I'm like, dude, we got to do this somewhere else today.
We were in Texas, and I had to wear my jacket because the cold air coming up from the floor.
Yep.
And where they had the tables to broadcast, there was a gap, so you could
Yep.
see the ice.
Yep.
And you're like, I'm freezing. My toes were cold. It was, yeah, you're right.
I always wondered how that felt because I've always been a basketball junkie. And I remember I was about 8 years old. And when the CAA tournament was in the Richmond Coliseum, they also had ice under their court. But one year at the CAA tournament, the ice melted during the game. Seeping up through the court. And the players were just slipping. They had to pause the game for 3 hours to get it cleaned up and get it under control. I'll never forget that. So I wonder what that actually feels like to play on top of a sheet of ice. And I wish that year.
That's not ideal, is it?
No.
That's not ideal. We've just solved a lot of problems in the sports world today, you and I. Just now.
Yeah.
It only took us 20 minutes or so.
Come on, man. It makes so much sense. So much sense. Neutral site. And if VCU's not, I think VCU will play in it. If they don't play in it, you can't put it in the Siegel Center. Come on, man.
You know what? Yeah.
Because the Siegel Center is the arena that's not too big, it's not too small.
The Siegel Center would be perfect.
There's not a bad seat in the Siegel Center. There's not one.
Would be perfect, yes. Yeah. And there's the bone you could throw them, a little nugget. You could say, okay, we'll play in your building. You don't have to go anywhere.
Yep.
I like that.
Because you can make the argument, they might be the best program in the Commonwealth. I know UVA won that title in 2019, but you can make the case that VCU is the best program in the state of Virginia.
Yeah, you could.
Really could.
You could. I like that. I mean, you could do it like 2 days. You could play 4 games a day like the NCAA tournament. Yeah. You could just do it that way. Start at noon during the holidays and just let it roll.
Yeah. Or you create the bracket before the tournament, 3 games, 3 days. Third day is the championship day. Win the first game, you're in the semifinals. Semifinals go to championship today. And
then you keep playing games to get your games in. If you lose, you're in a different bracket. Yeah.
Yep. There you go.
Wow. I think we just got a new job.
Yeah. Yeah, man. And then what's going to happen is we're going to look up one day and somebody's going to
hey, we're going to go, what? July 29th, 2026. We had it. Wayne wants to know, when is the LeBron room going to turn into Philly Bron room? What's going to be the first Philly item?
Hey, I'm looking. Trust me.
It's got to be something cool. It's got to be something they create, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be, I don't know. It's got to be a bobblehead, most likely. That's typically the first thing. They usually make a card. Topps has made a card already, but what the pushback, I'm going to get the card, obviously. I'm going to get it. But the pushback I get on it is he hasn't played a game in a Phillies jersey yet, but the card he has a Phillies jersey on it. So you know it's not.
Well, right.
I mean, you can't tell. It's 2026, but still, I know the story behind it. I also need to hit up Coach Nice, Darius Nichols. He's in Philly right now.
Yeah, he was talking about that. I talked to him yesterday.
Oh, I need some connections, man. Come on, man. I need a jersey or some shoes, Coach Nice. Come on now.
You know,
you know somebody.
He's a shoe collector.
Yeah. I need some game-worn LeBron James shoes. Come on now. I know he knows somebody. I know he does.
Let me work on that for you.
Yeah.
Let me work on that for you. I still talk to him all the time.
Yeah.
So,
he's right. Yeah.
Do you have I was thinking, these Bowen statues are so nice, like the ones of superheroes and stuff. Do you have like a LeBron, like a really cool statue? Not a bobble or a figure, but like one of, like a little, not like a mega statue, but like a, you have like a statue? That'd be kind of cool.
A statue. So I have these things, and maybe I can bring the camera over. So it's not a statue. It's more of a figure, but it's the thing when LeBron and the Barbie had their, collaboration.
You showed us that.
Yeah. Now there were these other things, and I don't get why people are talking about fees more.
He's getting up, ladies and gentlemen. I've made him get up here.
So there's no lighting here. So this thing.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see what you. Yeah.
So those are like statues. Those things are $400 a piece.
That's like the yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
It's called Enerbay.
Yeah, and there's a company that made a lot of those NFL at that time too. Yeah. The Danbury Mint. That's who made those NFL. The Danbury Mint. Yeah.
Those things are really expensive. Like so expensive.
So he just kind of sits down. He's got the little long stems on his feet, and you set them down in the holes.
Set them down and you can pose them how you want or whatever.
That's cool. That's cool.
I really don't touch it. Like it costs so much money. I just keep it right there.
There it is. Don't touch it. Leave it there. I'm with you. I'm with you.
Oh yeah, they're called Enerbay. And when he broke the record, they had this exclusive one that I wasn't able to get. I think that dropped at $1,200. They sold out in 5 minutes.
You can work out a payment plan for that, right? Wayne asked, "Do you put dust in his hands just to recreate, the?"
I don't. Not in that thing. I think it's too expensive for that. Nope. Yes, sir. I was thinking about putting it back in the box last week.
That's what you should do for your Longwood games this year. You should incorporate that. You should walk up and when you should walk out from the thing and do like a little bit of there.
Like get a load of this guy. Hard pass and me.
That'd be great. That'd be great. That'd be funny. All right, my friend. Well, listen, great stuff. Today's your workout day, right?
Today's my workout. I didn't work out yesterday because I got sick. So we're gonna see. I'm gonna take it slow today.
Yeah, take it slow.
I usually do 35 straight minutes on a stair climber level 10. You can't touch the rails. Anybody try to do that, but now I'm gonna get on the treadmill today.
Yeah.
I gotta take it easy.
Make sure.
Weird day.
Make sure the motion sickness is okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
man.
All right. Well, have a good one, brother. Appreciate you, man. As always.
All right, buddy.
All right. Take care of yourself.
I'll be in the building.
All right, man. Be good.
All right.
Keon Brown. He's got the countdown. I love the fact he's got his school countdown clock. That's great. Thanks to Family Fencing, sponsor of our studios here in Ryder, 540-200-8294. Mark Hundley, McClellan Chiropractic, 155 Walters Drive. Best chiro in the business, man. Thanks for watching his video. Over 650 views, rewatches on that thing. Rewatches of this show is just nuts. Absolutely nuts, which is great. Lawson's Mobile Home Supply, 300 North Franklin Street in Christiansburg. Give James a call, 540-381-8011. Manufactured parts for your home and the Super Bowl. Leagues are forming now, 382-5525. Call Terry and Amanda. And they were such great hosts for the Bash. Men's, women's, kids' leagues. So much fun. I don't think you can have a bad day at the bowling alley. Sundown Electric, one of the best reputable businesses in our area. Go see them. Do it today, the Smith Brothers. Check out the great cost options that they have as well. ReadySetFund.com. Speaking of cost, if you have costs coming up for your fall sports teams, reach out to Bob Christ at bobchrist11@gmail. ReadySetFund.com. Professional Door, 40 years. You've got 3 days to get $40 off your preventative maintenance visit. Call them up, 674-0008. You don't have to schedule it in July in terms of like having to have the work done, but you have to get on the appointment book, in July. You can schedule for August, September, October, November, doesn't matter. Jump all over that. 674-0008. You have today, tomorrow, and Thursday. Why would you waste the opportunity to save $40? It makes no sense if you don't. Because your garage door is going to cost you thousands to replace or get fixed if you don't get preventative maintenance. Let the best in the business come take care of it. National Bank member FDIC, the exclusive banking partner of me and this program. Go see any branch. I have a great branch down here in Radford. Jamie has taken such good care of me and my financing. She's awesome. BEST Fan Question of the Week brought to you by the attorney Ryan Price, 701 West Main Street in Radford, Trust and Estate Planning. I'm getting a lot of interesting answers. If you could not be a Virginia Tech fan, for instance, they were off limits, who would be your next team? A lot of the Tech fans are picking national teams. Like, there's been some Ohio State picks, Alabama. Interesting. Little River Heating and Air, 1095 Radford Street in Christiansburg. That's Charles Lee and Company. The blue and black trucks, don't miss them. They're the best in the biz. Pulaski County Sports Entertainment. The jet ski event is this weekend. They're getting primed and ready for that. Go check it out. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. They're going to crown a champion. You can go out there and have some fun. Get on the jet ski and go, go, go. Go, buddy, go, go, go. David Till, Mike Burnup a little later in the program. Damian Sordelette was going to join us today, but he is now having another issue. Another issue. You like my new advertising prompts? Did you like that? Yeah, I decided just to go ahead and put them all in one place. Yeah. I did. Pretty impressive, huh, Wayne? I can make those scrolls, too. Sometimes like that, like Lawson's, I like the way that kind of looks. It's a lot of information on there. Like, for instance, on Professional Door, it's a scroll right now. But you could, let's see here. You can get rid of the ticker part, and then you can do this and put it up that way. So I'm not sure which is better. I might leave that. I kind of like that one for the next few days. I do. Will we catch Rick on a jet ski this weekend? No. You will not. No. I'm not willing to go out and prove myself wrong about my bolt like I was with my bowling prowess, Brandon. Disco lights next. Where's T-Bird this morning? We missed T-Bird when he's not here. He was funny yesterday, T-Bird. All right. So I wanted to talk about this. So we're going to have David Teal in about 30 minutes and then Mike Burnup today. What's up, Chris Lester? How you doing, brother? Good to see you, man. Notre Dame Athletics has signed a jersey patch sponsorship with SoFi worth $20 million annually. It's expected to become the richest jersey sponsorship in college athletics history. And that's what it's going to look like. And this is something that was inevitable, right? Especially in the modern day world. So here they are. So to put this in context, Notre Dame's jersey patch deal with SoFi exceeds what the entire Big 12 receives from Monster. The power of the brand of Notre Dame. And, you know, we talked about this. We're going to give ourselves some victory laps. Always great to have you, Chris. Not the same without you. And a lot of people are saying, hey, I don't know where they get this conclusion, but Notre Dame's never going to join a conference. It's just not going to happen. A lot of people criticizing Notre Dame. They won't allow, by the way, branding inside. They do contradict themselves. For instance, they spoiled their entire playing service by putting in the horrible turf that caused a big controversy. We were up there in 2018 with Radford basketball when all that was just going down. They have zero branding inside stadium. They don't allow it. But yet, they sell the rights to the uniform, so a lot of Notre Dame fans are mad because here you are putting something on the cherished uniform, but yet they changed their field, which was cherished, and then they don't. But you know what? It doesn't matter. It's just about money. And they look at this as a way with this kind of deal. Why not? What's up, West? Notre Dame, Wayne says, got more from a patch than most non-Power 4 teams get in total investment. Correct. Brandon says, so 70 million with NBC, 20 million from SoFi. That's going to be more than some mid-majors' entire athletic budget. Yeah, you think about it. There's 90 million right there. And guess who they have to share it with? Nobody. The brand of Notre Dame, isn't it amazing? The power that they've known that they've had all along, which is why they have never and will never join a conference. Unless the only time they're going to join a conference is if there's ever any rules in place, they can't be part of the playoff. But you see, just because of this right here, this is why they'll never be left out about with the playoff, because Notre Dame has to be part of. That's why they get an automatic berth into the playoff if they finish in the top 12. Hey, Murder Drones, good to have you back. What's up, Big Al? I always like talking to Big Al. The deals are short-sighted, all about individual schools. Why no breakaway and have a consolidated football league, and then leverage deals and share like the NFL? Yeah. Yep. Yep. I believe it when I see it. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Terry. Terry sent, there was a bunch of tweets yesterday on X that apparently Washington, the Commanders, and the NFL are having conversations about using the Redskin name again, because they have the leaders of the Indian tribe involved. So I don't think the NFL is going to go back on that. I hope they do. I hadn't talked about it because I just don't think it's going to happen. It would make way too much sense for that to happen. So I don't believe that it will. But they need to get the Redskins back as the team's name and the logo and everything that made it special. It was never done to disparage anyone. It was done as a sign of respect. So anyway. So Notre Dame gets 20, and there's already rumors that that's just one side of the shoulder pad. There's some rumors about negotiation of a deal just about the same size for the other. I don't know who it's with. Imagine that. And that's what you're going to see on your Virginia Tech uniforms. That's what you're going to see everywhere. You're going to see two different sponsors on each shoulder pad. And I guess, that's something else that you can bother people. It will bother people. Soccer's been doing it a long time. Hockey, things like that. This was pretty funny. Somebody made that image. This is what the uniforms are going to look like soon. If you look at that closely, you've got a bunch of corporate logos all around the number. That's pretty funny. I don't know what the limit's going to be. By the way, yesterday was Bud Foster's birthday. Reached out to him. Happy day after birthday, Coach Foster. The people who have had issues with the name Redskins don't even watch football. Correct. It just became a popular political topic that never made any sense. Especially when you see that the group that it's supposed to be, I guess you could say, making derogatory statements about, support it more than anyone else. NASCAR uniforms. Oh, very cool. A lunch pail cigar for Coach Foster yesterday. Absolutely. Dwight shared our interview that we did with, and it's getting we got a lot of replays yesterday. Phil Steele had a lot of stuff from his conversation with us yesterday. Thanks for all the great comments. Phil and I go back a long way. We had to work through some things this year, but everything's great in the end. See how you can have a little bit of a disagreement at first, and then things turn out just peachy because you just don't take things personally, right? You know when to take things personally and when to not. When you have a common sense argument and you can just rationally discuss things, then. But no, we have to get offended and immediately put you in a box and say you are a hater or you are. I'm going to say it now here on the 29th because I still get texts about it. All right. Virginia Tech football. Is it under the right direction? Is it under the right course with James Franklin here? Yes. Is the money that they're raising helping to influence the success that they could potentially have? May have. Yes. Do I think they're going to have a winning record and a good record? I've already, what did I say? 7-5. Wouldn't be surprised to see 8-4. I've also gone on record on this show and said, if they end up, why not after Virginia and Duke? Why not in year one? Can't Ethan Grunkemeyer exceed all expectations? Why can't the offensive line be really, really good? Why can't the defense have some erasers that pop up every week? Would I be surprised if they showed up in the ACC title race? I've said how many times? No. No, I would not be surprised. But when you start talking about all the things around the program and you're not just blindly accepting everything that's said, all the marketing and all this and recruiting rankings, and you have to look at things from the bigger perspective and things that have happened before and the assumptions that a lot of fan bases have made that didn't come to fruition. And when you're just kind of looking at the whole thing enveloped like you should because it's a program, it's not a one-off, then all of a sudden you get labeled a hater. I got labeled a lot more than that when I told you a month and a half before that James Franklin was going to be the new football coach in Blacksburg. I took some screenshots of some of the posts that showed up on the Facebook page, and they called me every name in the book. Yeah. Well, guess what happened? Guess what happened? You know me well, Wayne. You know me well. What Keon was just talking about. Keon made a factual comment about Jalen Brunson. He's great on the floor. He's the MVP of the finals. He should feel great about every aspect of his basketball life. But is he a guy that you can put up on a billboard on the back of a cereal box, and is he going to sell anything? The answer is no. Not outside of New York. No. Facts. Notre Dame does not need to join a conference. Facts. They proved it again yesterday. Did you notice the two power brokers, Ohio State and Notre Dame? Ohio State announced their deal yesterday too, and the money is just, what was it here? Coach Grantham sent me with this Ohio State situation. Where did it go? I think it was Coach Grantham. Was it not Coach Grantham? Oh, yeah, I know. Frank, the Bills uniform that they're going to wear, that gray thing with that helmet, is the most atrocious thing I've seen. Yeah, it's ridiculous. Yeah. Ohio State's entering a partnership with J.P. Morgan that includes jersey patches for all 36 athletic teams. And that's going to get $17 million per year for all athletics teams. Notre Dame's is $20 million a year just for the football team. That's larger than many of the NBA jersey patch deals. So Ohio State, right? Ohio State, Notre Dame made power plays yesterday, reminding everybody in the industry, hey, we're not the same as you. Notice it's not an SEC school. It's an independent, and it's the marquee brand in the Big Ten that announced their power deals with jersey patches yesterday. All right. Notre Dame proved again. We're Notre Dame. Just stay the hell out of our way. You will accept us for what we are. You will want us to be part of everything you are. We're the Golden Domers. We have our own TV network. We don't have a lot of great TV ratings compared to some in the other conferences, sure. And we haven't really competed for a national championship in a lot of years. That's true. But you want us and you need us. And SoFi showed you that of all the brands that they could have associated with, SoFi, multi-billion dollar, hell, probably $1 trillion company. Who did they choose? The most recognizable brand in college athletics. They are the Dallas Cowboys of college athletics. Notre Dame is the college. There, that's profound right there. Mark it down. Notre Dame is the Dallas Cowboys of college athletics. The great Ric Flair. You may not like the man. You may think you can beat the man, but until you beat the man, he is the man. Correct, Wes. The college football playoff absolutely expanded the playoff, thinking of Notre Dame, 100%. Notre Dame and the Dallas Cowboys, the two most notable brands in football in this country, America's passion. Any counter arguments? You going to pick Alabama, Georgia? Ohio State, Michigan compared head-to-head yesterday. Ohio State got $17 million for patches on all of its sports teams. Notre Dame got $20 million for one patch on one sports team. And they're probably going to add $20 more million on the other side. Wayne, that was never said. That was Neil. That was never said. You know it. I know it. And the American people know. Brandon says you can say Notre Dame's better than the Cowboys since they won a national championship in this day. Chris, okay, here's the history of that comment, Chris. So Neil, when he was producing on the old radio show, we were previewing the ACC, and we were talking about Sam Howell, who I said I liked, but I said people are acting like Sam Howell is the next Michael Vick because he could run a little bit and he was athletic. So Neil made a cut and left out the first part. And so the cut just said, Sam Howell is the next Michael Vick, blah, blah, or whatever it was. And so Wayne always gives me a hard time. But that was all Neil. So no, that was never said. We're going to talk more of the ACC. Yes, we did talk about that, Dennis. Virginia Tech picked 8th in the ACC. We're going to talk about that a lot more coming up with David Teal. I'm trying to save that for Teal and then burn it. We got you covered on all the ACC stuff yesterday. No Damian Sordelette because he is he's had health issues, man. I'm thinking about you, Damian, if you're watching. He said he might be watching. He had the kidney stone. We've all been there. A lot of us have been there. And now he's got some kind of development and abscess. Wayne still, what a bad taker. I wish I could have brought that clip here, yeah, it's too late now. I was lucky to get what I got. But yeah, I wish I still had that way. So Damien will be back next week. But as he said, even though he's been feeling terrible, he said, hey, that is unless some kind of unforeseen health problem pops up again next week. But sounds like he's been really through it. So yeah, absolutely. What's up, Bradley? The Professional Door text line popping today. I am excited. I get excited at the start of practice. I do. Just because we know it's around the corner at that point. And that's when the teams start coming together. So. Yeah, Theodore, we're kind of a sports morning show, yeah. I hope you are. I never had a kidney stone, Chris Lester says. Anyone who's done that are absolute studs. Yeah, I tell you, man, you don't feel like it. It is a painful lot. Whew. I think mine was like 4 days of it. Not pleasant. Not pleasant. All right, Wayne, just for you. So anyway, that clip that Neil doctored, took totally out of context, had me saying that Sam Howell was the next Mike Vick in the NCC.
Oh my! Oh no! Oh no! That was out of nowhere.
That was never said. Never said. So that comment was like you riding a jet ski during the morning commute. Yeah, I saw that. With all that thunder, it was funny. Yeah, that won't be me. I won't be on a jet ski like Jonathan Sweet this weekend. But I think people hate on the Dallas Cowboys, especially if they're fans of a team that's had more success on the field, because no matter what they do, the Cowboys are always going to be in the limelight. They've got the most primetime games usually. They're going to be highlighted when they do well, because that logo, the star on that helmet, is the most recognizable symbol internationally in the NFL, in the world. You can take the Cowboys helmet just like you could take a picture of Superman, right? And you could show it to anyone in the world, and they would likely go, Dallas Cowboys. And you know what? As much criticism as you can levy at Jerry Jones, and he deserves quite a bit, he helped. They were already there to a certain extent, but he took it into just an atmosphere, a stratosphere that is amazing. The richest franchise in. Look at Chris Lester. That's so funny. That was going to be my next sentence. Maybe we are. Like, maybe Chris Lester, David Smith, Rick Watson are indeed brothers. I was going to say they are the richest franchise in the world. Again, bring in the nature boy. You may not like it. You may not want to hear about it. But if you want to be the man, beat the man. And nobody's ever in the NFL going to surpass the Dallas Cowboys in its branding. Just not. The star is just a rating, Brandon says. Well, I don't know. The estimated billions, if they went on the market that they would go for, may be a little, prove a little different. Oh, Brad, the bad driving guy. Yeah, I tell you what, bad driving guy. Ugh. The most consistent bad driving guy. Now, and I see it on these roads over here from Reiner going to Radford that they're not unsafe, but they're roads that don't have a lot of room on each side, each lane coming and going. So you have to you have to take great care. You have to be very, very careful. And bad driving guy decides to go over and straddle that line and be a quarter of the way into these lanes, not in a straight stretch, but when they're coming around the corners and they have a blind spot, which is me, and I don't understand how in the world people choose to drive that way and be over the line. And then they have to quickly adjust. What are you doing? Terrible bad driving guy. No signal ever given bad driving guy has popped back up into my reality. What is so hard about giving your signal? You know how many times that I've been behind people and you better be glad you're paying attention because all of a sudden they just stop and they turn. There's no signal light. That's what the signal light is for. It's like the episode of Seinfeld about when he went to the car rental place. That's why you make a reservation. We know why we make reservations. I don't think you do. Because if you did, I would have a car. Oh, you can take them. But it's actually giving your customer the car. You have a signal light. You just decide not to click it on. You know, something that helps you stay safe. Because if you have cars that are moving 60 miles an hour, and you're even a couple car lengths behind, all of a sudden you stop in the road, you don't have a signal, you might cause an accident. So those have been my two realities. I go through it every morning, and I just sit there, and at some point you just don't even have road rage anymore. It's never going to be corrected, is it? But guy coming over the double line on a blind spot around a turn on some of these roads here in Reiner, it blows my mind. Now, Brian Oliver's a retired UPS driver. I bet you went nuts. One hand on the wheel, one on the phone, none left for the signal. By the way, I never see a UPS truck doing anything like that. Ever. They never not give their signal. Or if they hit their hazards when they're getting ready to get up to the road, they're going to stop way ahead of time. They're big. Last time I checked, I never see them hogging up the lane. Maybe because they're professionally trained. Wes says people that never turn their headlights on. It's raining or foggy, yeah. But you don't want the bright lights on in the fog. That's counterproductive. But yeah, I'm with you. When it's really gray and you have to, or when it's, you're coming out of dusk, you're going into dusk at night. There's a lot of guys and gals that don't turn their lights on. Good training plus absolutely everything is tracked. Yeah. Well, you're some of the best drivers on the road. I'll tell you that. I've never had an issue with a UPS truck. You next time you're behind one, just watch them. It's crazy. And you're thinking, why can't everybody drive like that? But anyway, Wayne got me off on bad driving guy. And it'll happen this morning, and then I'll get grumpy. But the Cowboys in Notre Dame, they don't have to do anything. They just show up who they are, and they're already making money. And Notre Dame proved that yesterday. That's a mind-blowing. A jersey patch on the football team, $20 million annually, you don't have to share with anybody. A TV deal you don't have to share with anybody. Amazing. And I'm guessing it's true because he said it. Big Ten guy said it's easy because they have the richest, most viable alumni base in the country. So there you go. They're always going to have it. But now we get an understanding as to the thought process behind. Sure, there's some contradictions there with how they treat their stadium and then what they did to their field and what they've done to their jersey, but everything they do is calculated. You think about what happens if Notre Dame ever gets good again. And maybe Coach Freeman will get them there. I didn't ask, and I have done that in the past. Phil Steele yesterday. I did not look and see where he had Notre Dame, but he's got top 6 in quarterbacks coming in. Interesting that he does not have them in his top 15 running backs or wide receivers. He has them as the number 1 offensive line in the country. He has them the number 5 defensive line in the country. He has them the number 1 linebacking corps in the country. Wow. Number 1 defensive back. Do you think they're going to be pretty good defensively? And he has them the number 4 special team. So just looking at that, Notre Dame's going to be a top 4 team for Phil Steele. What's going to happen if Notre Dame starts winning again? Consistently. Whew. What do you think's going to happen to that brand then? With sponsors, television. There was, and maybe, I don't know, maybe the NFL would be the lure, but I think Marcus Freeman has turned out to be one hell of a young head football coach. They knew what they were doing. They knew what they had. They had a bird in hand instead of going out when they changed that job. And he gets everything Notre Dame represents. And maybe it is time for Notre Dame to turn the corner led by that defense. Yeah, exactly. The most defensive starters coming back. Guys get paid there. I don't even know. You don't even hear, but they don't have to. They're an independent, so they just do whatever the hell they want. The freedom to be able to do what you want matters, doesn't it? Yeah, Charlie White said they can't compete due to the academics. Yeah, I remember that. What? But there were some rumors about Marcus Freeman in the NFL, and maybe that'd be I can't imagine him even considering any other coaching job in college. Why would you? You're at Notre Dame. Like Brian Kelly had some things going on. He probably knew it was time for him to go. I think it was going to happen there anyway. But Marcus Freeman, I don't think will ever leave unless, an NFL head coaching job that he wants, then why not? But why would you leave? Why would you leave that place? I wouldn't. What's his overall? What's his overall? By the way, if you don't have it, there you go. Phil Steele College Football Mag. David Teal going to join us here momentarily. So, page 206 for the Irish. So, Marcus Freeman, after a 10-win season last year, of course, they had the big thing going up, right? He's 43-12 as the head coach at Notre Dame. That's pretty darn good, 43-12. Very, very good. Mike Burnup comes up here in just a little bit, joining us on the program. He is the Hall of Famer. Hey, we got back Hall of Famers. David Teal joining us on the program. What's up, David? How are you?
Good morning, Rick.
Oh, my goodness, David. The polls out. Boy, fans love polls. They were released yesterday in the ACC. Any really exciting happened for you there?
No, not really. It pretty much mirrored my ballot. I wasn't more than 2 places off the consensus with any of my picks, so I didn't wander too far off the reservation. The consensus on Virginia Tech was 8th. I had the Hokies 7. The consensus on Virginia was 6. I had the Cavaliers 5. So pretty much what I expected. And Miami is, of course, the landslide choice. And I would remind everyone that Clemson was the landslide choice last year.
That's right. I actually brought that up to Phil Steele yesterday. He had Clemson winning the whole thing, right? So, hey.
A lot of people did.
Yeah, exactly.
And those who didn't might have picked Penn State to win it all last year.
That's true. That's a great point. Yeah, with what they had coming back. Yeah,
sure.
Yeah. Well, I mean, people look at these things and they get all upset and overreact, but let's look at it from a Tech perspective. I mean, you look at it 3-9, and here you are, number 8. It just shows you the immense amount of recognition they've gotten for, as James Franklin said, winning the offseason, right? That's what that placement means right there.
Yes, that is purely based on James Franklin and the buzz that he and his influx of talent have created around the program. And now it's up to them to produce. And as I think we've mentioned, and as I've reminded many folks, James Franklin has coached 14 college football teams in his career as the big whistle. Every one of them has been bowl eligible. So anything less than that at Virginia Tech, 3-9 last season aside, I would be quite surprised if the Hokies aren't at least 6-6.
Yeah, right. Exactly. And that would be such great progress. People want it to happen all at once. That's not usually the case. It can happen, sure. We see anomalies, but what progress would that be if they just went to a bowl game, right? And then happened to win a bowl game. And then you're setting up for the next year, maybe to be the breakthrough year. That's normal.
Yes, everyone is not Indiana and Kurt Signetti.
Yeah. 100%. Well, it was interesting. No real surprises. The bottom feeders are the bottom feeder. Anybody that, when you looked at that and you went through your own polling, who was? I think I asked you this question a few weeks ago. Is there a team or two that you look at that is it Florida State? You're not getting a lot of love. Is somebody that could burst through like a Wake Forest did last year or a Duke this year?
Well, clearly the consensus is it won't be Bill Belichick's Tar Heels. 15th in the preseason poll, which I think we can all agree, if that came to pass, we would have regime change in Chapel Hill.
Correct.
And oh, by the way, a completely justified regime change in Chapel Hill. But if you're looking for teams to rise above where they're picked, Rick, look at schedules.
Yes.
And 3 teams that really stand out with manageable conference schedules are once again Virginia, NC State, and Pitt. So if they could be very similar to Virginia Tech, say, talent-wise, but because they don't play the likes of Miami and Clemson and Georgia Tech and Louisville, then, they catch a break.
And they all have good quarterbacks. All 3 of them. Bailey Kidd's back at State. Everybody loves Pitt's quarterback. And then, of course,
Heinschel.
Yeah, and great things about the kid transferring from Missouri to Virginia. So, yeah, it makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? It helps a lot when you don't have a tough slate each and every week, doesn't it?
Yeah, no question. I'm not to suggest that the games are going to be gimmies. And we all looked at the schedule last year and thought, anybody who has to play Clemson, that's going to be hard, especially on the road. Well, Syracuse is one of the worst teams in the league last season, and its only ACC victory was at Clemson. So none of us knows what we're talking about.
100%. Well, you mentioned Carolina, and I want to follow. You had a great piece on that whole thing, and we have a lot of Carolina peeps that show up here in chat. What's your take on that whole thing? Now you got the Lombardi situation and not a lot of information coming out there. This whole thing with Bill Belichick in North Carolina, have you observed it and you researched it? How do you look at this whole marriage of those two entities?
I think if we want to be charitable, Rick, and let's do that, it's a clown show.
Yeah.
Complete. Belichick, Lombardi, the girlfriend, all of it. The way they've comported themselves. Lombardi's going off to Saudi Arabia last year on some kind of purported fundraising expedition. The Saudis paid for it, according to North Carolina, but whatever. Not a great look there.
No.
And now he's on paid administrative leave. The roster he put together last season was abjectly terrible. And their response to that was, oh, let's go sign 40 high school players, as if they're all of a sudden going to come in as true freshmen and turn around the Tar Heels' fortunes. And we were just talking about schedules. Well, Rick, 9 of Carolina's 12 opponents this season won at least 8 games in 2025.
Wow.
Carolina's schedule last year was a cakewalk compared to what it's going to face this season. You start with the rematch against TCU in Dublin in week 0, and then it quickly Clemson on the road, by the way, Miami, Notre Dame. It could get ugly early at North Carolina.
And I think it will. I just got a hunch that it will, that will happen. Was he just chasing legacy, in your opinion? I mean, it's clearly just speculation. When he realized the NFL didn't have any more use for him, and when he did all this, it just all still seems so random that all this happened as quickly as it kind of did, to be honest with you.
Well, my cynical side, which is the prevailing side in this case,
yeah,
is that Belichick saw Carolina as a springboard back to the NFL. I will win at the college level. I will show NFL franchises that they made a mistake in shunning me after the Patriots kicked me to the curb. And I'll come back and break Don Shula's all-time wins record. Well, now that's not going to happen. And what's plan B? And I don't know what that is.
Well, on brighter notes, you had great conversations with a couple of former greats in the Commonwealth. Michael Vick, for instance. MEAC Media Day. Always a lot of fun to hang around the MEAC school. We play them a lot in the Big South, at Radford. So always great people down there, and how excited. What did you learn about Michael Vick in year 2, Norfolk State?
Well, I was not there. My teammate Trey was there, and Michael Vick is saying all the right things. I mean, he completely overhauled not only his roster but also his coaching staff.
Yeah, right.
And probably needed to. I mean, 1-11 was a rough look, and that one was over a Division II rival. So the Spartans better get better in a hurry. And they play at UVA this season. Last year they played up at Rutgers. They just announced yesterday that for the second consecutive season, their conference game versus Delaware State has been moved to Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, where the respective coaches played for the Philadelphia Eagles. And, so a little bit of buzz, but, until the Spartans show something on the field, I think the buzz will be minimal.
Well, on the other side, a guy who I know when Phil Almatian's on the show talks about the importance of Chris Slade when he went to Virginia. He's looking at that program. What kind of things did he have to say about that team coming off their record-setting season, and what the opportunity that 2026 still presents, there seems to just continue to be, and I get amazed at how many people just want to look at Virginia and say, I don't understand it, given that what they just accomplished. What did Chris Slade have to say about his alma mater?
My conversation with Chris was rooted in the fact that he has experienced the two greatest seasons in Virginia football history. The first as a player and the second as an assistant coach.
Right.
So who better than he to assess, analyze what it takes to follow up on that success. In 1989, when Chris was a freshman and a starter at defensive end, Virginia won 10 games for the first time in its history and won its first ACC championship. And then in 1990, to follow it up, famously started 7-0 and ascended to number one in the polls. Now, it didn't end well. Lost to Georgia Tech in an epic game, clash of unbeatens at Scott Stadium. Then Sean Moore gets hurt, dislocates his thumb against Maryland. The Hokies crush them, and then they lose to Tennessee in the Sugar Bowl. And then last season, Virginia wins a school record, 11 games, and finishes in the top 20 in the polls, beats Missouri in the Gator Bowl. And now Slade firmly believes, and I agree with him, that the Cavaliers are positioned to sustain that success. They have the resources. They're paying for their roster. They have a really good front office led now by Justin Spiros, the general manager, who's been with Tony Elliott, by the way, for 13 years. Justin Spiros was a freshman at Clemson, volunteering in the football office. And he's been attached to Tony Elliott ever since. And Elliott brought him to Virginia, and he's risen in the ranks. And they've got a very seasoned offensive line, got experienced quarterbacks. Now, who Bo Prabula, Eli Holstein are going to throw to, that's a question. But Cavaliers have some personnel, and they have Cam Robinson back at linebacker. So I think they're going to be very good. I'd be very surprised if Virginia doesn't win at least 7 games.
Right. And I think for some reasons it's the fact they lost to Duke just seemed to, in many people's minds, completely just took them out of their season, which it didn't. I mean, it was a big disappointment, I know, not to move on to the playoff, but they bounced back, as you said, and won that bowl game. A lot of programs couldn't have done that, given that context. So, I don't know. I'm with you. Notre Dame made a power play yesterday. They're getting $20 million from SoFi. They talk about their branding, and how about that? The most that's been reported so far, by far, for one company branding a school.
Well, they had to one-up Ohio State, right? Ohio State had its deal with Chase that is for a reported, I think, $15 million is what I read. So Notre Dame said, "I'll see you 15. I'll raise you 5, and we'll go with SoFi." So good on the Irish. And time was, Rick, when $20 million could take into account your entire payroll. Now it's not even half your payroll.
Correct. Yeah, not even half. Maybe a third. Maybe a third. That's where we're headed, I'm told. $60 million rosters are going to happen unless we get something happening. In this conversation with the SEC and the Big Ten, and they're looking at this bill, what do you think is going to happen there? Is this just posturing, or are we having actual movement? What do you think?
Both.
Yeah.
No, I'm not trying to be flippant.
No, I feel the same way.
I think both of these things can be true. There is movement. And maybe it will come to the floor in the Senate. And it may even pass the Senate. Will it get to the House and pass and then signed into law? I remain very, very skeptical. What I would encourage folks just to keep in the back of their mind and to monitor is that a group of football players at Stanford have signed on to the National College Football Players Union movement and starting a chapter there. I think the end goal, and it may be a long, long time coming, is collective bargaining among athletes with their conferences, not the NCAA as a whole, but with their conferences. And it will take a lot of doing, especially when it comes to public schools and state right to work laws and such. But eventually, long after I am caring about all this foolishness, and I am sitting on a rocking chair with a drool cup or whatever, we will have collective bargaining among athletes in either their schools or conferences. It's the only sensible outcome.
Yeah, but you're right. It's going to take a long, long time. Now, if you're sitting in that rocking chair, will it be in a beach setting or will it be out watching the mountains? Are you going to be out in the woods? Where are you going to be?
Well, whatever old folks home I can afford, Rick, who knows?
Well, it was an interesting. I think they have until 9 a.m. today to actually make their stance. To go ahead and do that, right? To change their position on that and see. It didn't seem like there's going to be enough time to do that. But it's been interesting. There's been a lot written about it this week. But feels like, I agree with you. I think it's both. It's movement and posturing. But I have no confidence that David, anything's going to happen of any substance anytime soon in any kind of regulation. So.
No, but I would encourage folks, Rick, who are interested in these issues in this topic, just read Ross Dellinger.
Yes.
He is the gold standard, and he distills it into understandable prose that even dopes like me can understand. And I don't believe, I don't think I'm misrepresenting his resume. I don't believe Ross went to law school, but darn if it doesn't feel that way.
It sounds like it. Yeah.
He is very well versed in this stuff. And I like people who can educate me and tell me things I don't know. And Ross does that on a daily basis.
No, he's terrific. I agree 100%. Yahoo does a great job overall, to be honest, with their sports coverage. But he is outstanding. And he does. He comes across like you're watching a lawyer write articles about all this stuff. But what's your week look like? What do you got coming up here for the peeps if they want to follow what you're going to be writing about?
Maybe getting away next week, Rick. So not a whole lot. I've got a story coming this Sunday on Justin Spiros, the Virginia general manager. And then probably Sunday after that, because we like to run our longer form profiles on Sunday, old school in the print product. A very long piece on the new Virginia Tech athletic director, Brian White, and his lineage. I talked to his mom, talked to his dad, talked to both his brothers. Fascinating conversations with everyone, and read Kevin White's book. Just a remarkable family and remarkable anecdotes, and I think people will really enjoy it.
Well, and I hope you enjoy your time next week. So in other words, don't bother Teal about being on the show next week.
No, because I'll be in Denver.
You'll be in love Denver. My Broncos lifer, so I love it. Well, you're spending a lot of time out in that area, aren't you? You're loving the West out there, not the far West, but the mountain areas. That's your play. That's where your rocking chair is going to be. You're going to find a spot that's going to be it. Well, safe travels, man. We'll talk in a couple of weeks.
All right, Rick. Be well.
Thanks, brother. You too. Safe travels. Good stuff. David Teal joining us on the program. And a good tape. There you go. We'll talk to Mike Burnett more about the where Tech is picked and all the things going forward. Yeah, we will. We will. I'm going to go get Creed here. I got to send Mike his invitation, and I'll be right back. Everybody knows the drill here with the animal. Been a little worried about him. He's kind of been a little gimpy the last couple of days, so. All right, there we go. Sorry about that. I think he runs so fast at times, and then he kind of comes down a hill and he kind of pulls a little bit of a muscle. I think that's what he does. Don't forget, Professional Door Incorporated, 40 years in business, 674-0008. You have only 3 days to get your $40 off preventative maintenance visit. And if you're not doing it, it's just silly. You can schedule it for any time you want. Any time you want. And don't forget about the big jet skiing event this weekend, Claytor Lake, Pulaski County Sports and Entertainment. They are the best. So get down there and check them out and get it done. And we'll get a report next week. See how Jonathan Sweet did. BDST Fan Question of the Week brought to you by the attorney Ryan Price, 701 West Main Street in Radford, Trust and Estate Planning. How are you? If you're taking away your fanship, who are you going to pull for? Getting some Alabama votes today. So fans aren't telling me who they are fans of. They're just telling me who they would pull for. There's Brandon's question. If they weren't fans of the team that you are now, which other college would you pull for? Interesting. And since I haven't seen any Tech or UVA votes, I'm assuming a lot of the people are Tech or UVA fans. Sundown Electric, that's the Smith Brothers, long reputation, long list of satisfied clients. Reach out to them. 5-star ratings all the way around down in Elliston. The Super Bowl, 540-382-5525. Leagues are forming now, men's and women's for kids. Reach out and talk to Terry and Amanda. They're the best. The absolute best. Moore says, hey, of course nobody knows, but if the Friday tailgate could happen, have you compared Tech and Virginia's Pitt schedules? I have. Pitt has 4 home games, and their first road game is coming into Blacksburg. Family Fencing, sponsor of our studios, 540-200-8294. Thanks to Family Fencing. Reach out to them, get a free quote. Mark Hunley and McClellan Chiropractic. Appreciate him. And next time over there doing a video, we're going to go through some of the things, and he's going to show you how all the equipment works. It's pretty easy from a patient standpoint. Little River Heating and Air, 1095 Radford Street in Christiansburg, 540-553-2971. Go see Charles Lee in the blue and black truck. Reach out to them. Talk about preventative maintenance on your heating and air units. National Bank. They've been my partner for 35 years. Exclusive banking partner of BDST here on YouTube. They are the absolute best. And let's see here. Did I leave anyone out? I do not think so. I think that is everybody. So thanks to everybody as well. Yeah, I think that's why I picked Tech to win that game, Morris. Pitt coming in here after 4 home games. That Friday night, Lane Stadium. Yeah, I don't like their chances in that one. Joining us now on the program, the Hall of Famer. We got back-to-back Hall of Famers from David Teal to Mike Barnett. What's up, Mike? How are you?
Good morning, Ricardo Watson. How are you?
Good to have you, man. Well, thanks for adjusting and coming on today. Phil yesterday, it was one of those deals where he only had one opening, and then he was gone for like 3 weeks. So I wouldn't have. I was like, well, let me call Mike and make sure, reach out to Mike and make sure everything's okay with
that's no problem at all. That guy's great. He's awesome. He's got so much knowledge. It's unbelievable how he just rattles through that stuff. He's amazing. So I'm glad you got him on. That's great.
I don't even hear him going through the book. I was throwing all these teams at him, and I'm like, how? How do you do that? Now, he may have, but
Well, he
It's
probably does
unreal.
it for 8 hours every day since that book came out, right?
That's true. That's true. Well, he's really high on the direction of Tech. He really is. So he has them as one of the most improved teams in the country. So that list in particular, he gets things right a lot. If you look historically, the last 20 years, when his most improved teams have that he's put in there have done that. So that's a pretty good sign, I think, going forward.
Well, yeah, I agree. I mean, they got really nowhere to go but up, right? And the talent is so much better and the depth is so much better. They're going to be better this year. There's no doubt about it. Now, where they got picked in the league, I think that was kind of interesting at 8th, which is probably good because that chip on the shoulder gets a little bigger.
Yeah, and I think coming off of 3 wins, I mean, they're 8th. They got room to go up, and where they are, they're very close proximity to some of the teams around them. Did anything really surprise you? Is it Tech being 8? You think maybe they'd be up a couple slots ahead of that?
I thought maybe they would just based on a lot of the people that you've read and heard about and whatnot. But, I'm not shocked. I mean, UVA being 6th, I think was interesting too, knowing that they lost quite a few talented people. So, yeah, I'm kind of glad they're picked ahead of Virginia Tech because, again, that's something to look forward to down the line to see. Because you talk about a big game at Blacksburg at the end of the year, that's going to be huge because of what happened last year, the streak getting broke and all that, and it's time to start a new one. So, yeah, it was kind of interesting. And I know the SMU is getting a lot of love because they're quarterback and they got a lot of pieces to the puzzle, and Louisville does. They seem like they challenge every
Yeah.
year. So, yeah, Clemson, Georgia Tech, I thought Georgia Tech might have been a little bit higher with an unknown quarterback. I was kind of surprised the regime after Haynes King that they got picked with that much love.
Yeah, that was the one that stood out to me as well. I was talking to some people about it yesterday. I didn't really understand the whole being picked 5th because Haynes King meant so much to that team. Maybe they have a guy they like. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe they're just respecting the program. But that seemed pretty high to me.
Yeah, I thought so too. But they want to run the ball, and they got some really good running backs and a big offensive line. So, if Mendoza can do a little bit of something, they'll probably be okay. But, yeah, that was a little bit of a surprise for sure.
Miami, the runaway pick after their run last year, not a surprise at all. People with Mensa coming in. Again, maybe they are getting more of the benefit of the doubt than they should. I don't know. But it feels like people are starting now to believe that Mario Cristobal is cementing that program to be like Miami of the old days. We'll see.
Well, he's got a money bank like the NFL, right?
I know.
I mean, he can buy those quarterbacks and steal them away, and every year it's all about the quarterback, right? Mensa's a good one, showed it last year, and and you look at Malachi Tony, the receiver, and you look at Mark Fletcher. I mean, they got some weapons, big lines, both sides of the ball. So, you keep the quarterback standing, they got a chance to be really good and maybe win it all. I agree with that. I knew they'd get picked number 1, so no surprise there with that one for sure.
Well, you're right. It comes down to that money. I mean, they lost 4 of their starting linemen, but everything I've read about the 4 guys that they brought in, people are like, they won't miss too much of a beat, right? They're just going to plug them right in. It's crazy.
I mean, yeah, that's what they do. I mean, when you got that kind of money, you can do that and replace guys. And so, there's a lot of luster and love around Miami now because of what they did last year. And again, they don't even get in the playoff, right? If UVA probably wins that championship game over Duke, Miami probably doesn't get in. So,
correct.
I mean, I think that gives hope to every team out there, especially in the ACC, a team like Virginia Tech, and just to see what Indiana has done with Kirk Cignetti over a short period of time. I think it can be done, right? And why not us? So I think that's kind of the mentality that you take and have and continue to develop and work on.
Mike Burnett joining us on the program. Thanks to Louise Baker, the Louise Baker team, Long and Foster Realtors. As Louise is fired up. She's already fired. She's already talking about the season and ticket giveaway, so she's ready to go. So,
when is that going to be? When is that big ordeal?
She's going to do it. She's got a couple of games. She's deciding on which one it's going to be. She's got two games in hand. I said, look, whatever you want to do, just let me know. She'll let me know. I know it's a little later in the season, so it could be the Pitt game. It could be around Georgia Tech. We'll see. We'll see what she does. So
that Georgia Tech game's been a hot ticket because I guess it's homecoming, and it's October, and I guess the leaves are kind of in peak form maybe. But that's been a hot ticket to get at. People call me asking, "Hey, can you help me get tickets?" Like, no,
Yeah.
I am not Ticketmaster or SeatGeek.
I didn't realize you did that as one of your other businesses. Mike, congratulations! I didn't know you were dealing with
Yeah,
tickets. Wow.
yeah, my spare time. Oh gosh.
The North Carolina, it's a disaster. Continues with Michael Lombardo. I don't know what David Teal was very kind, very more diplomatic than that. But boy, Mike, this is just it amazes me what's going on around that football program. Ever since they brought Belichick in, and now this thing with Lombardi that apparently is going to get worse. It just when's this going to end? Carolina fan has to just be screaming in the hills right now for this to end. Jeez.
Yeah, they're wondering when basketball is going to start.
That's all that matters. Yeah.
I know, what a mess. I mean, that whole project just hadn't seemed to work very smoothly with bringing him in and all the great stuff he did in the NFL with the Patriots and the Super Bowls. Hadn't changed, and him going to college. It's such a different world, and trying to get a roster put together and get quarterbacks, and now you got this situation with him. It's not smooth down there by any stretch, and I'm not sure how long the leash is on that whole operation.
You would think another poor season given on top of this thing with the writing. The book might be starting to be written, the final chapter this year, I would think. Maybe. We'll see.
Yeah, you never know. And you never know how much money they have. That would cost a fortune too, after just 2 years.
I know.
So
I know.
But I think Carolina's probably got a lot of money, right? So
yeah,
it's probably not a big issue in the big picture, maybe.
Well, as we look forward, this is a good time of year if you're a college football fan. I mean, we're getting practice going. It's going to start this weekend in Blacksburg, Mike. And you've been to a lot of camps early. Is there a tone that they're looking to set? What happens early in a camp? You go to you'll be there, you'll be watching. What kind of things is James Franklin going to be looking to implement coming off of summer, getting ready to pick up where they left off from the spring game?
Well, I think that's what you want to see, is pick up right where you left off, not have to waste a lot of time going back through the basics, the X's and O's. You kind of know what they want, and you bring that energy and you get off to a great start, right? So just don't waste any time. Be productive every day and try to get better, a little bit better every day, and try to get that depth chart chiseled out. And, those first few days are going to be in shorts and headgears and that kind of thing. And so it'll take them a little bit of time before they start the scrimmages and get in full contact, but they'll slowly work up to that. And just try to keep everybody healthy for sure, keep them hydrated. One of those things you see a lot happens is like these receivers and whatnot pull hamstrings and things like that happen early in practice. And, you don't want to get a bad one of those because they take so long to heal if they get torn or whatever. So, it's about obviously keeping your flexibility, your nutrition, and keeping your hydration right. And I think they come in Tuesday and start practice Wednesday, or maybe it's practice Tuesday, but that's when they'll get going. UVA goes this week because they got that early game.
Right.
It's going to be here right upon us, and it's going to be exciting. I don't know that there's been that much excitement around this thing for quite a few years, for sure.
No, 100%. And you hope that with the roster improvements, that if those things do happen, Mike, those little, it's going to happen in every camp across the country, this type of injuries and things, that they have people that can step up and make those guys who are going to miss some time not feel as much of a void, right? It's going to kind of fill that void a little bit.
That's it. And you got to keep those quarterbacks healthy. And that's one good thing that James Franklin has is depth in that quarterback room with obviously Grunkenmeyer and Bryce Baker. You got those two guys. Troy Hunes is looking good. And Ryan, I mean, they all have talent. So, but that's the one position you got to keep clean. And, that's a scary thing. You got those guys that don't get hit all season, right? All preseason. And all of a sudden you throw them into the mix. It's like, oh boy, here we go. Try to stay healthy in those first contacts. I mean, that's like, man, oh man, the one position, right, that you don't get any contact until the day of the game. It's like an eye opener. So, so you got to stay healthy. And, that's the thing too. He talked about depth a lot, and they have more depth. And I'm anxious to see how the offensive line, some of those guys that were out in the spring, same way on the defense, a lot of guys were out in the spring, and get those guys caught up quick because they won't waste much time. I mean, you got to get that depth chart kind of chiseled in and then hone in on your opponents pretty quick.
Well, you mentioned Indiana. I mean, we talk about Indiana and Kurt Signetti. They've had more money this year to go out and spend on players than he had the first two rosters, and here he is, being the national champion. What do you think that'll be maintained? What's your first opinion on that? Like, Big Ten's so tough. They've won the last three natties. You got Ohio State, you've got Michigan, but do you think Indiana's now here as one of those programs, or do you think it's going to be a natural kind of slow regression a little bit?
I think they're probably still here. They may not win it again, but they probably will close. And I think they'll challenge certainly in that league. I mean, they're good. He's done such a great job, and it seems like he has a knack for getting those guys to play hard because there's not a ton of five-star guys right on those rosters that he's had. And he gets them to buy into the culture and the program, and they seem to play as a team as good as anybody. So I don't see them taking a big step back. The quarterback was obviously special and kind of came out of nowhere because his odds to win the Heisman were not very good last year. So you just never know, what happens in that spot, and can he replace him with another talented guy that can get the job done?
Well, we talk about all the money and all these tech hires have been regarding fundraising. Then Notre Dame shows up yesterday with Ohio State and says, "Oh, by the way, we just got $20 million for this little small patch from SoFi, and Miami's got a JP Morgan deal." Pretty soon, Tech's going to be announcing their deal. I mean, it's going to happen, and I think you're going to have them on each side. Mike, what's your take on all that? I mean, it's anything to create revenue, right? That's where we are.
You have to nowadays. I mean, that's the name of the game, and I think you'll see come springtime. I think you'll see some kind of a big time concert come to Lane Stadium. Maybe you'll have one, maybe you'll have two. If you're going to have one concert and the stadium's going to be kind of torn up, the field is, why not go ahead and have two, like maybe 2 weeks later or something like that?
Sure.
And, make some big bucks on that. I don't see that being out of the question. So, you got to be creative, and especially when you only have 6 home games. You got to find ways. I mean, that stadium since empty, 350 some days a year, right? So why not put it to better use and try to make some money out of it?
100%. And I don't know, who the sponsor might be and who it's going to jump on there first. It's going to make big news, right? When we find out that first, shoulder pad jersey sponsorship, it's going to be a massive deal, isn't it? People are going to be talking about that because that's going to be immediate brand recognition when you're the first one. I'm sure they're probably closing in on a deal we don't know about yet, but that's going to be a big deal in Blacksburg when that happens.
Well, that was one thing that Brian White wanted to look at and talk about is all the contracts that are out there in place, the Nike deal, this deal, that deal, the radio deal, I'm sure probably look at everything that's out there and see how they can better improve themselves. And so I'm sure they're working on stuff like that. It may not come together that fast, but it'll be a matter of time before they get something going, and it's just necessary. And it's one of the things that you got to look forward to for sure. And there's so many big time companies in the state of Virginia. I think it would be a win-win for both.
Oh, 100%. 100. It's going to happen. It's going to happen.
You think about all those companies up in Northern Virginia.
I know.
And the tech alumni that are up there. My goodness. Yeah.
Makes all the sense in the world. It really does.
Yeah.
You got a couple more trips, don't you, coming up?
Oh, yeah. The crap's going to hit the fan here soon. Starting Sunday. Sunday, I got to go to Emporia. And then I think Tuesday I'm in Lunenburg. Down there for a Hokie Club function, both of those. And then later on, I got to go to Fredericksburg the week after or so, I think. I got a Swing for a Cure in Roanoke, and I got a Rotary Club, and there's still a few more left.
You're like a rock band. You're just touring the country playing gigs right now, right? Until the season starts.
It's coming quick, and then it'll kind of get into a routine after all that's over with. So it'll be fun, though. We're looking forward to it. All these teams, everywhere you go, Rick, everybody's so excited and jacked up and wants to hear about what's happening and how they're going to be and how many games they're going to win and what do you think? What do you think? That kind of stuff. It's pretty fun.
People asking, have you seen any people follow Mike and his property? Any snake issues so far this summer?
No, my daughter was up a week or so ago, and she said, "Have you seen any critters?" And I said, "Nope, I haven't seen any snakes." Now, I've seen tons of rabbits, squirrels. I've got deer everywhere. They keep eating my trees, even though I got that spray stuff on them. my bushes, my balloons off the plants. I got a squirrel that ate. When I was on vacation in Destin, I came back and I had 2 of my pots in the back porch, and the squirrels had taken all the bulbs and ate all those out of the bottom of it. I mean, it's like, come on, Sammy. Pretty soon I'm gonna catch you, and you're gonna be down by the river somewhere.
Absolutely, absolutely. There's a farmer out here in Reiner. He talked about that spray that you mentioned. It's like all you're doing apparently, because he had the same thing. It didn't affect the deer at all. It's like I think all you're doing is putting sauce on there, and they're just like, it makes it's like that's the opposite effect because they destroyed all of his blooms too. So.
Yeah, it's having the buffalo wings hot, right? Yeah, this is pretty good. I think I'll try some.
That's really
they
awesome.
say it doesn't. Yeah, and then they say it doesn't wash off in the rain. I'm not sure about that now. It's like
I don't know
some of
how
these
that works.
rainstorms we've had. It's like, man.
Yeah. I don't
And then
trust that science.
they like the blooms, Rick. The blooms come out and they're nice and pretty. You get a red one and a yellow one.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, those things pop out. Well, is there any spray on those left? Because they kind of just pop up, right?
Yep.
So then that's like buffet time.
Oh, hey, they're here. That's right. Yeah, no doubt.
Colorful.
Well, good stuff. Well, again, we want to thank Louise Baker. She wanted me to tell you hello, by the way.
Absolutely. Love Louise. Hope she's doing well and having a good summer. And I know she's looking forward to football, too.
Oh, she is. We're thinking about doing like a BDST tailgate, Mike, for the Pitt game. So if we do that over at some of the season ticket holders, get you to stop by before you go in the stadium. That'd be great. I'll let you know.
Have to be pretty early because we're on the air for 2 hours before. So
well, I'm sure we'll get there in the mid-afternoon probably that day. So we'll
figure it out. Are you still on the grassy knoll over there?
No, I don't know what they're doing. I have no idea what they're doing over there. I have not heard. What they're doing. So no, I'm not. I miss it. I miss the Big McAdoo sandwiches they used to give us.
I'm sure those were good. That was a good reason.
It was a good reason. Well, man, safe travels and best of luck with the critters. And we'll talk again next week.
Yep, sounds good, Rick. I appreciate it, and thanks, Louise. And you guys have a good week.
All right, brother. You too, man. Take care.
Okay.
Take care. Mike Burnett, appreciate him moving for a day. He'll be back to his regular spot. But yeah, I had one shot to get filled, and it had to be yesterday, or we wouldn't have gotten him for maybe the end of August, maybe. If not wild turkey, I agree. It's a missed. But my vote's for Smithfield. I want any kind of bacon. If Tech puts Smithfield bacon patch on their jersey, that means you're going to find it around everywhere. Give free samples to anybody. Jason. The date? I don't know. Let me look. It's game 5 for Pitt. It's a Friday night. I don't want to tell you wrong. See, this is why you keep the Phil Steele book handy, right here. October 2nd. Friday night, October 2nd. Dun, 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 dun. So Morris, who's already worked it out, or he's working it out now with several peeps over there to have a massive tailgate connection. And we might do a show thing on there. Get peeps to come out and we just hang out and tailgate before the game. Mike said he'd stop by. I don't think Morris has any problem getting there early. See, Low Country, his votes with Smithfield. Don't you think, Low Country? Wouldn't that be great? For the first 40,000 fans in attendance, you get 2 packs of bacon. Smithfield's good. Wright's Bacon is the best, thanks to BDST legal counsel Richie Davis for introducing me to that way too expensive entity. But boy, it's good. Ooh. Richie brought Wright's Bacon into the studio, like different flavors, and I was just like, "Are you kidding me right now? How have I not known about this?" And he's like, "Well, it's a little expensive." It is. No problem, Jason. Yeah, I think we're going to work on that. Oh, long day, schmong day. We can handle it, Morris. Come on. Friday night fervor. Yeah, Richie still has Gus, the wonder dog. Yeah, beautiful dog. I would, I would bring Gus here to live in a heartbeat. Love Gus. He's massive. I don't remember the breed that he is, but he is a fine, fine animal. He is the unofficial mascot of BDST. I haven't seen Gus. I never get to see Gus. Gus is a tremendous creature. Tremendous creature. And Richie's a tremendous human being. And the pop show. I love when a plane comes. There you go. Yeah. Yeah, we could do that. Who's bringing the wild turkey and bacon? Well, I expect if we bring some tailgates together, we're going to, Hokey Bob, we're going to volunteer you if you're listening. Yeah, Creed is, I guess, the unofficial mascot. Yeah. It's sad. Like, it won't last, but I can tell he's got a little thing going on, kind of like a football player battling through it. Like when he's walking, like he just walked you can't see it, but he's kind of got a little sad. I hate to see that. He's favoring his left, kind of his left haunch here. Of course, you remember the surgery I had to perform last year because of his bulbous region around his shoulder. Costco Kirkland thick bacon. I've not had that. But I'm telling you, if you ever got a little extra cash and you're in the meat cooler, Wright's bacon. Damn you, Richie. I'll struggle through somehow, Rick. Never a long day with you, my friend. Same here. Yeah, we'll figure it out. That crowd's going to be nuts. National televised on a Friday night. Pitt could be 4-0. And Tech could be 4-0. How about that? What if that happens? What if they're both 4-0? What's great about Friday night is you can kind of let loose a little bit more because then you have 2 days to recover from whatever Friday night's tailgate brings you. What if Tech and Pitt are both 4-0? How cool would that be? Wouldn't that be awesome? I didn't hear no Bell Creek. Yeah. He's a tough guy, but he knows he's a little messed up. You can just see it on his face. He's like, man, I did that again. Man, I kind of screwed up there, Dad. Yeah, he calls me Dad. Great stuff today. Now, tomorrow's a short show. We have the all-staff meeting down at Radford that starts around 8. So I think we'll have time for David Smith. And then once Andy Bitter is done, I'm going to have to talk to Dwight about his schedule. Maybe we can get Dwight on Friday. But, yeah, we got to stop early tomorrow. Not my choice, but it is what it is. It is what it is. Brian says that's the look I have on my face. So you know exactly the look I'm talking about with Creed. You know exactly what I'm talking about. All right. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate you. But, Rick, Friday night is high school football. True. True, Rodney, it is. It is. Unfortunately, that'll be overshadowed on that Friday night. You're right. Look, I'm with you. Nobody's more traditionalist about high school football Friday nights than me. I'm with you. So we'll see you briefly tomorrow on the program. First hour or so. And then I'm outie. We'll be back. Well, we'll talk more about it tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of your Wednesday. Take care, everybody. We'll see